Pisces, it's Amanda here with your May 2018 RuneScope. This month I will be using in conjunction with the runes one of my favorite tarot decks, the beautiful Tarot Art Nouveau Premium Edition. This is by Linnea Weatherstone and Antonella Castelli. Then as always, be sure to join me for part 2 of your reading over on Vimeo. I will be using the Fairies Oracle by the incredibly gifted Brian Froud, one of my favorite artists. And we'll see what further wisdom and guidance we can get for you for the month of May. That link is below in the box, for your spiritual guidance. So just follow that link over there. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you find that my readings are resonating with you, if you do find them helpful, please do click the subscribe button. That will ensure that whenever I post new content, it goes directly to your subscription feed. But let's jump in to May. I can't believe it's May. Can't believe we're ready for May almost. Pisces, May 2018. Which runes do my Pisceans need to hear about? As always, Pisces, these are general readings, so check out the video for your rising sign as well for additional messages and information that you may find helpful. Sometimes those readings will resonate with you more than these general sun sign readings will. If you would like something far more specific with messages only for you and about your specific circumstances, you would need to contact me for a private reading. I do those on Skype. They are $70. Just drop me a line at runescopesforyou@gmail.com to book your appointment. And we will see what comes up for you. But in general, what are you Pisceans doing in May? Well, the challenge or focus is the Five of Cups is here, unfortunately. Not the happiest of tarot cards. And the Wunyo is in reverse. So we have some disappointment here. This is kind of the crying over spilt milk card catchphrase that goes along with it. But with these runes, it's reinforcing that, you know, Iwas is here too, though. So you're trying to stay positive about a disappointment, or you're trying, you know, maybe more than one disappointment. I don't really feel like for most of you this is one thing. I just feel like you've gone through a really difficult, actually last few years based on your readings. You know, where you try and everyone disappoints you, or, you know, it could be, it seems like with the cups, it is more personal, it's more emotional, people letting you down, people not being there for you. Maybe you need to find new friends or a new, you know, partner, somebody worth your time. But you could be kind of keep going back and kind of dealing with regret, or and it could come up in May. Maybe May is the anniversary of something that happened, or a breakup, or maybe that just happened recently, or it does happen in May. But I just feel like you're disappointed in someone, or with the way your happiness and joy is always thwarted. I feel like you get, you know, many of you get just to that end where you're getting ready to, like, oh, this is going really good, and oh, I may actually get this job, or oh, I think this person is really could be the one, and then boom, the axe falls, and you're like, damn, why does this keep happening? So, and this doesn't have to be like any specific event happening in May, Pisces. It could just be kind of the aura around. You're in kind of a state of melancholia in May, and you're just tired of it. I feel you're trying to stay positive, but it's difficult to do kind of when you're like, everybody always lets me down, I can't trust anybody, or nobody ever has my back, or I think you're just kind of feeling a little sorry for yourself in May, Pisces, and maybe with just cause. I think many of you do have just cause, but So, I mean, you know, if you may have to take some time to kind of wallow in that. And, you know, people say don't wallow, but I mean, we all have to have time. That's how you kind of come to terms with things. Sometimes we just need to take that time and take a break from all the stuff. And I just feel like you're exhausted from trying. And that's the phrase that I'm hearing really clearly. I'm exhausted from trying, no matter which area of life that is in. And it probably is multiple areas. You know, I think it's just kind of a general theme that you're like, I'm exhausted of trying and never getting anywhere. But let's see if we can get some better news as we move along here, Pisces. In the present energy, so this would be whenever you're watching this video, or perhaps end of April moving into May, we do have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, this is talking about feeling trapped, or maybe feeling trapped by these feelings. For some of you, what could trigger this is something breaking down, a car or something around the house that you had to have fixed that you weren't expecting, a breakdown in communication. But yeah, vehicles, be very careful. And I think I told you this last month, Pisces, be very careful driving. Or maybe it was Capricorn, I told that to last month. Maybe your turn in May here, Pisces. Even though Mercury retrograde will be ending in April, it does seem like, yeah, there could be some issues with the car, or you could be without a vehicle and without a way to get somewhere. This can also just be an argument that is like a circular argument. It just keeps going round and round and round again and again and again, and you can't escape it with the Eight of Swords. No matter, you know, it's just the same thing over and over again. And why do we keep fussing and fighting and arguing over the same thing? There's no way out of this circle of BS. We never get a resolution. It can't be solved. So why do we keep arguing about it? You're feeling stilted or blocked from moving forward in some way. And I feel like there are a lot of things that you want to change about your life. There are a lot of shifts and changes you want to make, and it just seems like no matter what you do, you get blocked, or you can't get out of this circle of nothing happening. A lot of you, I just feel like, are fed up with the way things are going. And that is your challenge. So the challenge and in the present energy are talking about the same thing, I feel like, you know. But yeah, be careful driving. If your car has been acting up, definitely get it checked out before you kind of go on, you know, any long trip or anything. This could also be road rage. Not you necessarily, although it could be, but it could be somebody else. And the road rage causes an accident, or causes, you know, when somebody's like tailgating you, and then you have to stop suddenly, and then they, you know, before you know it, there's an accident, or, you know, it could be you. But yeah, it's through someone else's kind of anger, misdirected anger, or impersonal anger. It feels like road rage. So watch your road rage in May. Here, Pisces, just, you know, allow yourself extra time. Pretend like it's a Mercury retrograde, and if you can, you know. And that may be hard. All of the Pisceans I know are probably going to be late to their own funeral, but late to everything. But so yeah, I would just, whatever time you need to be there, give yourself either an extra 45 minutes or an hour, you know, to get where you're going, or definitely double the amount of time, so that you're not feeling rushed or feeling this anger. Others of you, I just feel like this is an old argument that keeps coming back up with no solution. There's no answer to this. We can't resolve this. The help that's going to be available, we do have the Ten of Swords. So this is a release from prison, a release from some bondage. Either you or someone else. do have the rune of mother coming up. So it could be your mother, it could be your child, someone releasing themselves from bondage, or some sort of prison. But for others of you, I just feel like this feeling, whatever's causing this, you know, negative phase, you're being released from that at some point in May. We do have the start of that. And we'll get to why here in a minute. So remember, we were talking about your challenge and how you're feeling at the beginning of the month, but it doesn't stay this way, Pisces. Just be patient a little bit longer. Need is here, just saying it's, you know, you're in the darkness before the dawn. And May seems to be like both of those. You have the darkness and then you have the dawn. And you're being released from whatever this blockage is, you know. And I do feel like you're like, with this energy, you're like kind of just calling out, why does this keep happening to me? Please, release me, please. Something is ending. You're separating yourself from, if it's a person or a relationship, no matter the nature of the relationship, maybe family, because this could be energy kind of perpetuated. Sometimes we start believing someone else's viewpoint of us, and if someone's always talking down or negative or critical of you, you know, no matter who it is, Pisces, you may need to break off or sever that tie, or at least distance yourself as much as possible. And if you're living with, you know, particularly if you're living with a parent or a sibling or a family, you're having to live with a family member because you're waiting to try to like get enough money to move out or whatever, that could be happening for you in May. Or if you are divorcing but are still living with an ex, that will be, you'll be liberated from that. So either they will be moving out or you will be. That's probably going to be specific for like one person. I don't know many people who would do that, but it happens. I have talked to a few who were still living with the ex after the divorce. And then, I mean, you're not free to move on with your life, right? I mean, you could, but it's just awkward and kind of weird. You know, you got to let that go. And even if you do co-parent or stay, you know, want to stay friends, you still need a little bit of time apart so that you can move forward and start looking for someone else or looking for fulfillment elsewhere, Pisces. But yeah, you will be liberated here. There is a new beginning coming in, and it is a goal that you have worked very hard to achieve. So whatever this, like, oh, all this work I put in and nothing's panning out, it is not in vain. You are making progress. You just can't see it right now, or you can't see it maybe at the beginning of May, but you will see it by the end. And for some of you, there is like a severance of ties that needs to be happening, either with a job, if that's one of the things that you can change and you're looking to change. Maybe you've been looking, but you haven't been finding anything. May could be the month where that changes for you. But you may be feeling, God, I'm gonna have to stay here forever. I can't, I've sent out my resume so many times and nobody's hiring me, and you know, I can't even get a meeting. If that's what you've been working on, it's coming in May. For others of you, maybe it's dating, maybe it's personal life. You know, I keep, you know, meeting people, I keep going out on dates, or I keep hoping to meet someone, but I'm just not. And you could be meeting someone in May that changes all of that. Something that you've been putting a lot of effort in and really putting a lot of work into. So now if you are looking for someone to be with, but you don't have any profiles up on any of that, you know, the internet stuff or the apps, or you never leave the house to socialize, I mean, you're really limiting yourself. But others of you, maybe you have done that. Again, effort. So if you had been doing that, maybe you're exhausted. God, I go out every weekend, or, you know, I really make time to go out and I'm just not meeting anybody. Give it one more try in May, because I think, you know, if you're single and looking, if you socialize in May, you could be meeting someone. You know, especially if you've put effort into it in the past and just, you know, kind of got discouraged. Get back on that horse, Pisces, in May. And just get out and go out with friends. I mean, you don't have to, you know, go to a speed dating event or anything. But yeah, just go out and socialize. Do things that you enjoy. Go places where people are. People, large groups of people congregate. Go see a band or go to some festival or, you know, some sort of event. Because, you know, May here in the Northern Hemisphere, things hopefully will be warming up. I don't know. April, I'm filming this in April and it is freezing. And normally by this time we are, things are blooming and we're starting to get pretty warm outside and it's just not happening. Hopefully by May, spring will have officially sprung and we can get outside and do some fun stuff. But get back on the horse in May, Pisces, because what must be accepted? You've got the Three of Cups. So this is a celebration. This is, particularly for many of you, this is an offer of work. And with the Three of Cups, this could be something coming back around from before, because this is a reunion card for me, big time. So it could be an offer coming back from someone you used to work for, or a company that you used to work with, or a certain skill or job, or the kind of job that you used to do coming back around. And again, this is like you're reaping. This starts a phase of reaping. For some of you, this could be something that you applied for in March or started in March, as far as work coming back because of the Three of Cups. I don't always get that, but it was coming through this time. So, must apply to someone out there. Yeah, maybe you applied for something in March and you're finally hearing back and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I really wanted that. This is awesome. Because Fehu is a job offer. Fehu is, and good money. It's financial gain. Now this can also be an offer of love, an offer of romance, an offer of reunion from someone. Could also be you offering to renew a relationship, Pisces. Hopefully not to one of these people that disappointed you. But what this rune says is that, you know, you will either be offered something, or that if you can get the courage up to reconnect with somebody, it will be beneficial. Those feelings are reciprocated. So if you're wondering if someone, some of you, not all of you, again, a personal reading would tell us more about this, but I do think some of you, if you're wondering if a past love would be open to reconnecting, this is a resounding yes for most of you. But there just seem to be mystery and secrets, and for those of you that this is a past connection, this was a very highly sexual, chemical attraction, okay? A very, very magnetic, physical attraction. And with the Three of Cups, there are quite a few emotions tied in there as well. Maybe you just haven't found anybody to suit that, and so maybe, you know, for some of you, maybe this is the right person. It is time for a redo. Maybe, you know, maybe they have changed or you have changed, especially if it was maybe when you were younger or a long time ago. Maybe things have progressed to where you could really give it a go here. Again, that'll be different for all of you. If you had a horrible, abusive ex who drinks all the time and, you know, would hit you or abuse you or whatever, and they're still that way, obviously that's not who we're talking about. So don't think this is a license to go back to a horrible ex if they're exhibiting the same behavior and they haven't matured one damn bit. But for those of you that are really curious about that, I would definitely encourage you to get a private reading, either from me or from someone else, just to check if you're confused or if that is on offer, if they do indeed get in touch with you in May. Definitely consult with somebody and kind of see what comes up, because, you know, I don't want you to go back to a negative situation. This is all about getting out of those things and moving forward. Some of you could be meeting someone through work, this new job that comes in. It could be that, you know, if you are single, you know, even if it doesn't kind of start in May, you could be starting the job where you're going to meet this person. But many of you could be reuniting with people that you used to work with, maybe several people. Maybe they went to another company and they knew you were looking for work and they had an opening, so they contacted you. Maybe they left in March and now they're like, hey, you should come work here with us. But for those of you that this is a reunion, this is somebody that's been gone for at least a year. This is somebody that you haven't spoken with for at least a year. Probably more, because this is a rune of a long time. Like, it's been a long time. Could even be somebody you actually divorced or are legally separated from and have been for at least a year. So, but for others of you, there is an offer coming in that is a reaping. It's like a reward for all you've been through. Either through disappointment in work or disappointment in relationships. Could also be friendships. Three of Cups is also, it's normally 3 sisters, but we have 2 sisters on this version of the card in this deck. So, yeah, it could be a reconciliation with a family member or friends. Some good friends that maybe had disappointed you in the past, but are apologetic about that. Maybe there were things that you didn't know that had gone on that they're telling you about. Could also be a sibling, you know, and you didn't have all the details, or you didn't really know what was going on with them and why things kind of went awry or went poorly or bad. And maybe they ask you to come talk to them, or they show up at your door or call you and want to reconnect. So I think the majority is the number one way this was coming through. This is an old type of work or an old company. It has to do with money and financial gain for many of you, but something that you've done before or applied to before. Now the outcome is wonderful. It's 8 of Rods. So that is all. This is the arrows of love for some of you, but it's also, yeah, swift communication. You know, things start happening really, really quickly. So as disappointed and as trapped and blocked and, you know, all, you know, things breaking down and disagreements and arguments and just feeling stuck, as intense as maybe that was at the beginning of the month, the end of the month is the complete opposite. Things are happening quickly. You may have to travel. That's another thing with this, is like, you may be told, okay, you've got to go travel and meet somebody, and the 8 of Swords is just you feeling like, oh my God, how will I have the money to travel to go interview for this job? You know, how will I have the money to move or whatever? At least go meet with them. I think you're going to make it happen with the 8 of Rods, because that is about swift travel, swift communications, a new influence coming in, new people, new friends for many of you. If this is a completely new job out of nowhere, that comes out of nowhere, you're going to be meeting some people that you really vibe with. And maybe for those of you that are single, this is where you meet a romantic partner. Not the best idea to get involved with someone you work with, but hey, it happens, right? We spend so much of our time at work. But maybe it's somebody connected to someone that you're going to be working with, or a client or a customer, or you know, that kind of situation. But man, you've got Thor's rune and Aeol here flanking this 8 of Rods. Both of these runes are about protection, luck, divine serendipity, being in the right place at the right time. Wherever you're supposed to travel to, it's important that you go. Whatever the communication is that's coming in, it's important that you respond. If you're on a dating app or on, you know, there's going to be someone in that group of messages that the messages are flying back and forth. Maybe they just signed up. Maybe you're just signing up in May for Match.com or something, and so does this person. And maybe you're like, oh, I really didn't want to do this. And they're like, no, I didn't want to do it either because I thought it was stupid. So it's like, you're like of the same mind, right? It's like serendipitous. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to communicate. You're supposed to respond to this message. You're supposed to go travel and meet with this person. This can also be a lot about work in communications, writing, getting the message out, marketing, advertising. So for many of you, this is, again, talking about this job offer, and it's like swiftly, you're just like getting work. And you're feeling so fortunate and lucky, as opposed to, you know, how you were feeling maybe at the end of April and the beginning of May. So whenever you're watching this, Pisces, if you're in this period of, man, when are things gonna turn around? Check back in at the end of May. End of May, beginning of June, and see how things are going for you. Between May and August, I feel like, specifically with the, you got 2 8s here. Things just progress rapidly. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed with the way your life looks and how different it looks at the end of the year here, Pisces. We are still in the first half here, and you know, things are ramping up for you got really good. But meet me over on Vimeo. As I mentioned before, I am gonna shuffle the Fairies Oracle. I wanna see if we can get more wisdom and guidance on how to handle this sort of melancholia that you're feeling. And see what wisdom we can get from that deck. So I will see you over there. Thanks so much for watching, Pisces, and I will see you back here for June's RuneScope.